Welcome back everyone, my name is Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Pathfinder Kingmaker, where we left off last time we killed the Stag Lord. And rest stop awaits. I plan to set off right away. Just be sure you go see Keston before you go. He was eager to discuss something with you. Okay. I'll go do that. Keston, what's going on? Before you stands a heavy-set man with grim, determined features. His withered face is crossed by several scars. Yet they do little to mar his appearance. His gaze is heavy, but he avoids eye contact, as if afraid of unwittingly sharing whatever burden weighs so heavily upon him. Alright, I forgot to tell him about Tartuccio. Keston, I failed to capture Tartuccio alive. He attacked me and was killed.
Well, this is not the best outcome, but I think it will be good enough for Jamandi. Take this as a reward for your help. I'll send word to Restov, and let them consider how they might return the favor.
Keston sighs.
Once again, I thank you for your help. I'll remain here until my men recover from their wounds. Meanwhile, we'll help guard the trading post and fight off any bandits should they return. Good luck in all your plans and endeavors.
Thank you, see you later. We're so close to a level now. Like 300-ish away? We really should level up all of our other people. We'll do that later though. I'll do that between videos because we're not going to be using them anyways. The fog seems to be thinning, but we should wait till it burns off completely. In the meantime, I'll gather some supplies, make sure you can enjoy your trip back to Restov. And we're off, apparently. I wonder if we get another 300 experience for going back. We could almost be level 5. I hope one of our characters can be a treasurer, otherwise we have to grab Jubilost quickly. Treasurers are super duper important, apparently.
I require rest.
Good work. Nice to see I haven't lost my intuition for people. Not many would have managed to set out to the Stolen Lands and return with the Stag Lord's head. But I knew you could handle it.
You thought I was a traitor.
Congratulations are in order. Today, you'll receive the title of Baron before the High Society of Restov, and even Natala Sertova personally. God's bless her. Tomorrow, you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands if you wish, but this time as a ruler. But matters of state can wait. For now, enjoy this feast in your honor. All the city leaders are here. It's a great opportunity to make some useful connections.
Okay.
Speaking of connections, let me introduce you to Kasil Eldori. He's my adopted son and apprentice. He's a trustworthy man. I'd like to send him with you as an envoy.
Castle, a young half-orc with impeccable poise, forms a textbook-perfect bow. Jamandi, just what kind of game are you playing? I think I have the right to know.
Yes, you certainly have that right. But tell me, how well do you know Brevoy's history or the current political atmosphere? It won't be an easy explanation.
What do I need to know about the current political atmosphere?
We, the Eldori and the great noble houses, spent 200 years under the rule of invaders, the Royal House Rogarvia. We plotted, we schemed, we stabbed each other in the back, but open confrontation was out of the question. But a few years ago, House Rogarvia disappeared. No one knows how or why, but one day, their manors were just empty, and the force that held Brevoy together, that kept us from a bloody feud, ceased to be. Brevoy is currently ruled by the House Sertova, the former kings of Issia, but their power pales in comparison to that of House Rogarvia when they were here. So now Sertova and Eldori stand facing each other, staring each other in the eye, waiting for the other to draw their sword. It's an untenable situation. No one wants a civil war that would drown Brevoy in blood, but peace between us is also out of the question.
And what part does Restov play in this game?
Restov is a free city, proud of its independence from everyone, including the Eldori Sword Lords. But when it comes to Rostland's liberation, our goals align. This whole plan is our joint creation with Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius.
What role do I play in your plans?
Rostland wants to regain its independence, and we will regain it. The power the Issians hold over us is humiliating and costly, and the Sertovas won't give us our freedom without a fight. That is, unless there is some external power that can force everyone to sit down and talk. Do you see where this is going?
I do.
The stolen lands are disputed territory. Brevoy can't appropriate them without raising protests from each of the neighboring states. However, if some brave people were to found independent states on that land, it would be another matter entirely. My hope is that you and your future neighbors, Baron Hannes Drelev and Captain Maegor Varn, will become our allies. But even your neutrality would introduce a powerful counterbalance to the aggression of the noble houses. Maybe, with your help, the inevitable division of Brevoy can occur without too much pain.
Don't the Sword Lords have any other foreign allies capable of playing this role?
We hope to get some help from the Maivani Eldori, the descendants of the Sword Lords who have fled from Koral's rage to build a new nation in the south. But the Isians know this well, and are doing everything they can to deny us this help. I won't go into details, but if my intelligence is correct, if a civil war starts in Brevoy, Maivan will be too occupied with its own inner troubles to interfere.
If Natala is already here, why did she let you grant me the title?
Actually, she could still intervene and disrupt the proceedings. But she's a Sertova. Their games are always complex and multi-layered. They're always looking for ways to turn defeat into victory. If she's decided to allow you to become a Baron, it means she already has some idea of how she can turn it to her benefit. Let's consider how she could do so. Maybe she understands that Rostland will inevitably separate and she doesn't want a war. In that case, new states in the Stolen Lands give the Isians a reason to sit down and talk without losing face. But that's an optimistic view, and truth be told, it doesn't quite match up with what we've come to expect from the Sertovas. The more likely scenario is that Natala wants to win you over to her side. If war breaks out and at least one of you stabs us in the back, Rostland will be surrounded by enemies. That might be enough to bring about our downfall. But you would fall first, and your newly formed states would be left in ruin. The Isians always like to have someone around to pull their chestnuts out of the fire for them. A piece of friendly advice? Don't do business with House Sertovas, no matter what promises they make you. Any deal with the noble houses is a deal with devils.
What happens next?
How should I know? We're in the middle of a big game. And today, you move from being merely a piece on the board to being one of the players.
What do I need to know about the history of Brevoy?
What's now called Brevoy was originally two different countries, Rostland and Isia. 200 years ago, they were stuck in constant squabbles. Then, Koral the Conqueror showed up and united the two states into one. Such diplomatic tricks are easy to manage when you have dragons at your disposal.
Wait, this sounds familiar. Multiple kingdoms? Check. Squabbling and inner wars? Check. A conqueror on dragons showing up? Check. Koral is a Targaryen. Got it.
The so-called noble houses of Brevoy, mainly Sertova, Orlovsky, and Lebeda, once ruled over Isia. We, the Eldori, ruled Rostland. The royal house Rogarvia, founded by Koral the Conqueror, forced us into obedience. But 200 years isn't long enough to make peace with such a troubled history. Even 2,000 years wouldn't be enough for us to accept Isian rule. Brevoy is a country held together by a thread, and that thread grows ever weaker.
They misspelled Aegon.
I hope you have a better understanding of what's at stake.
Thank you, I'm gonna go speak to the guests. Actually, do you already know about my encounter with Tartuccio?
Of course. Keston gave me a full report. You dealt with the scoundrel perfectly. It would be naive to think that none of your neighbors will try to stick their hands in your affairs. Especially that sly fox Iravetti.
Thanks, I'm gonna go speak with the guests.
Enjoy your evening. When you're ready for the official part, come to me.
Sure. I heard the sound that was not unlike a leveling up sound, so let's see if that was the thing. It totally was, we did level up. Alright, we might as well hit level 5 while we're here. We get two-handed weapon training +1, so +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls with two-handed weapons. It's gonna be pretty good for us. Athletics, knowledge, lore, persuasion. Sounds good, and we get a feat. What feat should we get today? It's a nice flanking bonus. Although combat reflexes is pretty nice too. Or blind fight. Or even just armor focus. Do I want blind fight or do I want... Oh man, this is tough. Combat reflexes are so good too though. Actually, we don't have a dexterity bonus. Never mind. Combat reflexes isn't going to be that great for us. However, you can still make attacks of opportunity while flat-footed, which is nice to have. I think I might just go with armor focus in all honesty. Get an extra armor, an extra AC. Although blind fight might help us more in the long run. We already got weapon specialization, right? Yeah. What else can we get? Meta magic? We definitely don't need any of those. Yeah, well, I think we're gonna go with blind fight. It'll help out a little bit in certain situations. Now we have plus what to hit? 11? 10?
I require rest.
Technically be plus 11, but we're fatigued at the moment. It's fine. We'll be fine. Lander, let's talk to you. A handsome, well-dressed man of about 17 years looks at you with a polite smile. So you're the famous slayer of the Stag Lord's gang, soon to be Baron. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Lander. Just Lander? No last name, no title? Well, let's just say I'm here incognito. Under my circumstances, it's wise to keep one's lineage to oneself. Truth be told, that's precisely what I wanted to speak with you about. You see, I'm an heir to one of Brevoy's noble houses. I won't say which, but believe me, a newly appointed Baron with no connections would do well to have a friend like me. I travel the country in secret, without servants, so I can see it for myself, not from a carriage window, but face to face with the people. My family would never approve, of course, but then, I never asked. I need to know Brevoy if I'm going to rule part of it someday. I know Jamani wants to impose her stepson on you as an emissary of Brevoy. Refuse. Take me instead, don't look at my age. While they may have trained this half-orc to swing a sword, I've been training to rule since I was a child. I'll be of far greater use to you both now and in the future, after I have a firm position in my family. Are you from Restavik nobility? Oh no, I'm not from here. I'm just visiting, you could say. I wanted to see for myself the heroes who managed to conquer the frontier lands, and the Lord Mayor was kind enough to invite me to this wonderful party. I'll consider your proposal. Yes, do so. And carefully. Let's go talk to Megar Varn. This man is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it was borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face, and his dark hair is drawn in an unkempt ponytail with a few streaks of grey running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Let me introduce myself. I'm Megar Var, the new ruler of Dunsword. Your neighbor to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the Stag Lord, by the way. Not everyone could exterminate a whole gang of bandits with such a small team. How did you earn the title of baron? Truth be told, my team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Jamandi Aldori needed someone reliable to take and hold the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team, if that wasn't clear. The Varling host. Have you heard of us? No. No matter. We'd done work for Jamandi before. This time the task was simple. We just waltzed into the area, cleared it of the most brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. And for that, a barony and land to own. It was a dream job. How do you feel, being a noble? Looking at his rich clothes, Varn smirks. Like a pheasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I've felt so strongly like turning away could get me eaten. He nods towards an arrogant man in the corner of the other room. See that lad? Baron Drelov. He's not like us. Who knows what generation of baron he is? Didn't even shake my hand. You and I didn't even shake my hand. You and me were like dirt beneath his boots. That's why those like us, the newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise he'd take my land and yours in the blink of an eye. Nice meeting you. Goodbye. Once you're settled in, come pay us a visit. I will. you might be a good ally for me. Well, Tortuccio, well, scum and dad we him. Maybe I've had one too many.
I won't be
I think you
halted.
have. Ah, yes, I see good old Restov hasn't changed a bit. Even the smell in the streets is the same. Natala Sertova is discussing something with an unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary sweet smile. You are not only tough, but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it. Well, you can. Is this a threat? I would never. I simply wish to warn you in case you don't fully realize the fate that awaits you and your barony. And what is that? Nothing good, I fear. The Aldori, our dearest friends, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume. You see, they're preparing to separate from Brevoy. It will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using this legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure a strike from Brevoy's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Restov to honor you. Well, I wouldn't count on even that, really. And what would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be to align yourself with the lawful rulers of Brevoy, the noble houses. The Aldori wouldn't dare rebel, knowing they will immediately become entrapped. You could help Brevoy avoid civil war while simultaneously enjoying some well-deserved peace in your lands. I believe Jamandi has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her low-born stepson, the green-skinned boy, Castle. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend a different envoy. Please meet Chandra Murvy, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with Brevoy's politics than any brawler could be. The old woman standing next to Natala gives you a slight bow. I'd be happy to help you establish diplomatic relations with Brevoy. Consider it. Think on it. Do not make any hasty decisions. You know, we've gone with, Castle before, twice, in both the beta and the alpha. I think I'm gonna go with Lander this time. I'm kind of curious to see who he is. I don't actually know. Azvanki Kig. A handsome man with a weather-beaten face grasps your hand tightly in his rough, callous palms. Unlike the rest of the guests in their festive clothes, he wears a simple robe. The only luxury you see on him is a holy symbol of Erastil made of solid gold. The other guests look at him with respect, some bordering on awe. Congratulations on your victory, he says in a deep voice. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Azvank Kig, High Priest of Erastil in Restov. Bringing law into the Stolen Lands is a difficult endeavor. I would be grateful for any help you could spare. This is truly a noble undertaking. I believe our community will be able to provide you with reasonable assistance. We will help you construct a shrine in your capital, free of charge. It was an honor to meet you. Goodbye. Erastil will keep you. We get a free shrine. Nice. I'm not going to complain about that. Who else we got? Ragongar and Octavia, don't care about them. Hannes Drelov. This man's gorgeous clothes hide rippling muscles beneath them. He looks past your ear, obviously bored. Baron Hannes Drelov, he says offhandedly, emphasizing Lord Baron. And you must be the Stag Lord, Butcher. I'm sorry, I quite forgot your name. But he took out the Stag Lord and his gang, and so Sword Lord Jamandi is granting you permission to take his place, right? Well, congratulations. My lands to the west lies to the west of yours. I suppose we're neighbors now. Yes, I defeated the Stag Lord. Pray tell, what did you do to deserve your new domain? Huh. Politeness must be deserved. Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong one. Yes, I defeated that. Same thing I said. A smirk appears on the Baron's face. I don't need to deserve or prove anything. Countless generations of my glorious ancestors have done so for me. If I had a slightly bigger army, Sword Lord Jamandi would have simply given all the Stolen Lands to me. Alas, I don't have so many soldiers at my disposal, so she had to urgently make barons of the likes of you and Vaughn. So you have no army, no special merits, and you were just given land for being pretty? Under other circumstances, have you whipped for such words? But let's not ruin Lady Aldori's celebration, If you want so badly to measure merits, we can do so another time. Goodbye! Not even deigning to reply, Baron Drelov turns around and looks away. What a jerk.
Onwards!
Alright, I think we're done talking to everyone of note. I've noticed that our custom companions are not here. Just the pre-made ones, like we got Ragungar, Octavia, Harem, Amiri, Tristian, Lindsay, Jathal. Valerie is not going to be here, obviously, for clear reasons. Joseph Salimius, an older man with full sideburns, looks at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well now, if it isn't the hero of the festivities, the protege of our dear Jamandi. You pulled this off quite cleverly. I confess I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Pitaxian wine against you, but I'm happy to admit I was wrong. The Eldori have always been adept at finding new talent. I don't believe we've been introduced. So it would seem. I'm Yosef Selemius, Lord Mayor of Restov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbor, I hope we can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship. So you rule Restov. And what about the Eldori? Ah, Brevoy's politics seem complex and incomprehensible to many. Here, in this part of Rosland, the spirit of the northern freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the dominions of the great houses, we have our own way of life. It is especially important now after the events. Actually, after the certain events that I probably don't need to name. The Eldori Sword Lords used to rule Rosland. They're still the largest landowners and main military force in the region. But it's not for nothing that Restov is called a free city. We're proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among its citizens, considered not by their lineage, but by their own merits, so it's a meritocracy. Nice. How are things in Restov? I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the disappearance of House Rogarvia, more and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking things. But those sorts of rumors aren't worthy of your attention. And what kind of events were you talking about? Mayor Selemius gives you a patronizing smile. Why, an aspiring politician needs to be well informed. I'm talking, of course, about the disappearance of the ruling house Rogarvia. Can you imagine it? Old man Coral conquered our lands 200 years ago. It would be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house would just disappear out of thin air. But once that exact thing happened, it turned out nobody was ready for it. Poof! All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It's a mystery. But a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone. Okay, bye. Please wait a moment. Your young barony will need resources to establish itself. And from what I've been told, you're somewhat in need of financial assistance. I could organize and supply everything you need for the construction, and spread out the costs on extremely favorable terms. I could immediately procure, say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that will give you a good start. In exchange, I would ask a small favor. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services through Restov's Builders Guild. Do we have a deal? Yeah, sure. That sounds fine. I need allies, and he's a good enough one. Alright, Jamandi.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceedings?
Before we begin, I'd like to talk about the envoy I'll be taking with me.
My apprentice, Casil Aldori, will go with you, won't he?
Young Lander will come with me.
Oh, the heir of House Lebeda. Naive enough to think no one would recognize him here. I wouldn't trust him. Who knows what he has in mind?
I'll go speak to him.
Of course. Enjoy the feast. You deserve it.
Hang on. House what? Hey, Lander.
You follow.
I need to talk to you for a moment here. Oh, I can't... Really? Oh. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna go with him anyways. We haven't tried it before, so we'll see what happens. It might be very interesting.
So, how do you like? From what I understand, you've decided to take Lander Lebeda with you.
House Lebeda is based in the southwest of Lake Reykjal in Brevoy, controlling the plains and significant portions of the lake's shipping. They are considered to be the Brevik noble family that epitomizes Rosland, having significant talent and blood, an appreciation for the fine things, and a love of sword fighting. The family motto is success through grace. Yeah.
Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care.
Let's begin.
Excellent. Stand here.
We'll take Lander. See what it's like.
Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon. Captain Mager Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword. And finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
There's no way I'm reading those things. They're way too fast. They were just cheers, basically, though. Alright, we are heading back to our city, which we did agree to let Restov finance. And now we'll stare at a black screen for a little bit. Until hopefully something happens. Unless the game crashed. Although, I can still move my mouse, so... And the music's still playing. Oh, music's changing, that's a good sign. Maybe?
Victory! The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
Greetings, Baron. Why are... Actually, quarterstaffs are amazingly good weapons. Welcome, Your Grace. Keston salutes you. You can see he's a bit anxious, and it seemed he'd rehearsed his speech many times. Let me once again congratulate you on your victory and your new title. Lady Jamandi transferred me here. I'm at your disposal. I'm not one to bestow honors, but I want you to know I'm glad to serve you. I'm here to welcome you on behalf of your new capital citizens. The Stag Lord's former stronghold will soon be a thriving city. Word travels fast, and the first settlers have already arrived, with new ones approaching as we speak. While you were visiting Restov, much has been done here. Your benefactors, the Eldori, invested a great deal of resources in rebuilding the city. I stand ready to answer your questions, and to show you around the most important sites. I'm ready to look around, lead the way. That's right, bow to me. Greetings, Your Grace. We are, well, your new subjects. We're selecting a site to build our house. Not on the street. Select somewhere else. It's wet near the lake and windy up here on the hill. A fine place to throw garbage at your neighbors' heads, though. Ouch. We already have whiners in our... It's a good thing you got rid of those monsters and bandits, Your Grace. Already got whiners here. It's too windy, it's too damp. Build your house. Do you recognize this place, Your Grace? This is where the Stag Lord's fortress wall used to be. Not that it saved him in the end, huh? It's a market. There's 2 shops. Our workers did a fine job turning this bandit den into the heart of the town. I mean, they set up 2 stalls. I don't know. The heart of every town is its main square. We plan to hold street festivities and fairs here. Look, we already have our first vendor. You have 2 vendors. I think you should probably address the fact that you had a second vendor to your back area. Greetings, Your Grace, the vendor says. If you'll turn right from the square, you'll end up straight at our tavern. Uh-huh. Gotcha. Tavern's ale is blessed by Kalian himself, I swear, and the lady who owns it is a gem. It's a lot of random people. They did a good job putting random people into our town. I like that. There's some gallows. Oh, all that nonsense. Well, except for the part about breathing fire. All barons can breathe fire, trust me. It's true. He's not wrong. Welcome, Your Grace. Glad to serve you. Your Grace, those are our guards. They keep order in the city or keep their mouths busy with gossip. Something. Captain, something. I went too fast. Here's the observation platform. I hope one day your capital will grow large enough we won't be able to see its full extent from this perch. Looks like we got 3 farms and maybe just a hut or like a shack of some sort in the distance. A couple shacks actually, and a well. I just noticed the well to the left there. The building in front of us is your residence. That's where we'll head to now. Is it going to take us inside? It is going to take us inside. How nice of it. I was kind of hoping to level up my other characters, although they might not even have a level at this point, who knows where they're at.
I require rest.
I also need to rest, apparently. You are about to make the unyielding stolen lands a prosperous kingdom. There's a long and arduous road ahead of you. You and your advisors are going to deal with matters of national importance, found and build up settlements, seize and develop new regions, solve pressing problems, take advantage of good opportunities. A prosperous governor will be handsomely rewarded with support and donations from their subjects, promising alliances with other states, wealth for their treasury, and many other things. I'm good. I don't need the tutorial. So now we've reached your main chambers. This is the throne room where you'll hold court and receive visitors. Let me draw your attention to this large map depicting your barony and its surroundings. We'll mark all the important scout reports and other news worthy of your grace's attention. Having finished his speech, Keston tucks his thumbs under his belt and stands quietly. Hello, my dear friend. Lander Labada, the young noble from Brevoy who you've chosen as your emissary, greets you with a distracted nod. I'm glad to see you in good health. I don't see how you remain so steady in these circumstances. He makes a wide gesture with his hand, obviously meaning something larger than your throne room. But in truth, I shouldn't worry. A little effort and this barony will become a rich and prosperous land, right? +6 community, +6 loyalty, +3 military, +3 economy, +3 divine, +3 arcane, +3 stability, and we can pillage the temple. We have a trade agreement with Sartova, rebuild the Temple of the Elk, agreement with the Yosef, Selemius, and Isvanki's offer. Since ruling seems to be a new thing for you, I'll put the matter simply. There are two kinds of issues the Baron must address, boring ones and amusing ones. You have servants and advisors to handle all the boring problems, and you can give them orders from wherever it pleases you. But sometimes an urgent matter will arise, a dragon attack, or the visit of some noble dignitary like myself. Events like these demand the Baron's personal presence in the capital. We'll mark these events on the map too. Okay. According to ancient tradition of Brevoy and most of the River Kingdoms, rulers in these parts find it convenient to receive visitors and chop off their heads at the beginning of each month. I know well the traditions can be tedious, but nevertheless I advise you to visit the capital on important days. But here's the main thing. You should start choosing people to fill the key positions right away. Your clerics Jod and Tristian were the first to beg for an audience. I'll leave you to your thoughts for now. I'm sure you'll make wise decisions. Of that, I have no doubt. Okay, we're gonna end the video here. We're at 32 minutes. We'll do some ruling in the next video. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time. Take care.